All right, Coach, we're going to get started with Mark McClune with Channel 3, Channel 5, and then we'll have Dwayne Rankin.
Hey, Monty, congrats on the win. How close was that to a playoff atmosphere tonight?
It was everything that the playoffs are, emotion, physical, players making plays, late game situations. It was all of that. And the resiliency and relentless attitude that we showed down the stretch on the road in overtime says a lot about the character of the guys in our locker room. Not just winning the game, but just kind of staying with it when the whistle didn't go our way. At one point early in the game, it was like 13-2, I think, free throws. Then we just couldn't get to the line, and that was a bit of a frustration point for us, but we stayed with it. Giannis, just attacking the basket over and over again and scoring on good defense, but we stayed with it. And even when Chris hit that shot, we didn't buckle at all. And so a great growth moment for us. And obviously it's just cool to get a win and really cool to see Chris, pass Magic Johnson and all-time assists. I think he's 5th now, which is absurd. So just a really cool night.
Next, we're going to go to Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic and then Royce Young.
Coach, I was going to ask about Chris, but you've addressed it. I wanted to ask about the last play. Chris looked like he was trying to screen to get a switch.
Yeah, we're trying to get the matchup that we wanted. But Drew, I coached him in New Orleans. He's one of the best on-ball defenders I've ever seen. He knew what we were trying to do. He wasn't going to give into it. But we were trying to get the matchup that we wanted, and it just didn't work out. But thankfully, the result was, better than expected.
Quick follow, Deandre defense on Giannis in the fourth quarter. Just speak to that.
Well, it's defense the whole game. I mean, I don't know what else he can do. Giannis made some tough shots. There were a few where he had to go under DA's arm, made some fadeaway jump shots in the paint. That's about all you can do. A guy that big and that athletic coming at you full speed. I thought DA did a really good job. And I thought the biggest thing was he didn't get frustrated. He didn't, cry to the refs or any of that stuff. He just stayed with it. And once we, got our rotation set up where we could match him against Giannis, I thought it helped our team settle down a little bit. And then Jay did a good job on him too when there was opportunities to red or switch on to him. I thought one of the big plays of the night was when Book got the steal or the deflection for a steal when he had to switch on to Giannis. They tried to make a pocket pass, and that was the kind of effort and execution we needed to get a game like this.
Next, we'll go to Royce Young with ESPN and then Cameron Cox.
Yeah, Monty, with what you guys did in the bubble, it's well documented. But, I'm sure there was a lot of belief that you were going to sustain that momentum into this season and have a good year. But then you add Chris. So what has Chris done to maybe kind of boost past what that momentum was maybe even believed to be, to where you guys are having this like sensational season?
I mean, you don't have enough time to talk about everything he's done, but he's improved the winning mentality. All of our guys want to win, but when you see a guy that has done it from afar, and then you look at how he does it, from his diet to the exercise routine he has every day, and then in game, where he's able to be in those situations and really lift the level of our team, it's pretty cool to watch. And then, watching him just kind of get these accolades along the way, I think it speaks to the longevity, the discipline, the sacrifice that he's, implemented along the way in his career. So I could sit here all day and give you story after story. He certainly helps me as a coach. Our conversations in game allow us to make some plays that we probably couldn't make, if I didn't have that synergy with him. So he certainly is a benefit to me.
Next is Cameron Cox with 12 News, and then Steve McGargy.
Monty, obviously the season's winding down. I believe tonight y'all clinch at least, at worst, a play-in spot. But what does tonight show you about your team moving forward that maybe you didn't know?
I knew this about our team, but how do I say it? It's just good to see it played out in front of everybody else. I've seen, I think we talked about it in pregame, how tight they are, how much they want to win and play for each other. And we saw that tonight. Like, the schemes at times didn't always work, the plays didn't always work, but our guys just made plays for each other. And, we have a ways to go. We all understand that. And we're just focused on our next practice, which is tomorrow. That's all we're focused on. We have a do the next right thing mentality with this team. Reps removed out. We're a work team, and we're going to stick to that. That's the only way I know how to operate. And I hope our guys expect that from me and implement it themselves.
Next up is Steve McGargy with the Associated Press, and then Kellen Olson.
I was just wondering, what was your vantage point there on that last play that resulted in the foul? I guess it happened right in front of the Suns bench. Just what did you see there?
Yeah, man, you hate that to happen to a guy. Certainly benefited us, but I heard the slap, so I was just concerned as to when it happened. I wanted to make sure it happened before the buzzer went off, but we were just trying to get the matchup that we wanted, and we couldn't. And so Book just took off to try to get a shot off, and I think it was Tucker. PJ just kind of overhelped, and rightly so. He just didn't want Book to beat him. And I heard contact because it was right there in front. I just didn't know when it happened.
We have time for 3 more. Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, and then Gina Mizell.
Hey, Monty, I wanted to ask you about 2 moments in the game. The first one, Deandre appears to hurt his left shoulder. You've only got 1 timeout left. You rule to keep going. Book hits the shot, and then you're able to have the timeout at the end. Just what was your thought process there?
That was the only way that it would have worked out. I really didn't want to challenge. And it's going to be something we talk about because when you do that, when you only have two timeouts, you really put yourself in a bind. But those are those moments where I have to trust our guys. And so having 1 timeout, you have to score, you know what I mean? And you have to get stops. And so it just worked out for us. But my thinking was to, keep 2 timeouts for sure going into, the last minute of the game.
Final 2 questions are Gina Mizell with Suns.com and Cody Cunningham.
Hey, Monty, I feel like kind of lost in the craziness of overtime in the end of the game is that you guys had to claw back from 7 down in the 4th quarter to even get to that point. So you talked about resiliency, but kind of how were you able to do that? Because once you went on such a burst to get that, to tie the game, but like to kind of just hang around and then be able to sort of push forward to then make it just a 1 possession game kind of the rest of the way.
It's just who we are. You know what I mean? Like we our guys never want to give in. Even, the other day when it wasn't working out well for us against San Antonio, I took the guys out, but they still wanted to play. Like, that's the mentality you have to have. You have to believe you always have a chance. And when you have Chris and Devin handling the ball, I think it gives you a chance in any situation. And Mikhail, knocking down an unreal shot in the corner. He's worked so hard on that. But to be able to knock down shots in those moments, Jay did the same thing in the corner. I thought he got fouled on that. And then DA diving in the middle. Even when DA tweaked his shoulder, he was able to come up with the ball. That says a lot about who we are. He was in some pain, but he had the wherewithal to go get the ball. That's who we are, and that's who we have to be if we're going to have the kind of success we know we can have.
Final question is Cody Cunningham with Suns.com.
Hey, Monty. I wanted to ask you about a very specific moment in overtime. Mikal went up and got the layup, but he fell to the ground, and it was like instantly Langston ran over, rushed, helped him out so that Mikal could catch up to the fast break. Just what do little moments like that say about this team, willing to impact the game and help each other out even when they're not actually on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, we have a saying, everything counts, and that was a moment where Langston had a chance to, he didn't play tonight, but he certainly had an impact on the game. And that's who we are. We always have each other's backs. I talked about it in the pregame. These guys spend so much time with each other. They really care about each other. And I don't know what else you can say for Langston to, have that sense to go get him up and kick his butt down the floor so he can get back on defense was pretty cool.
All right, DA, first up is going to be Mark McClune with Channel 3, Channel 5, and then Richard Syons.
Hey, DA, how much fun was it to play in a game like this?
It was super fun because it was competitive from the beginning to the end. Both teams really battling it out. It was we grinded. It was a gutty win, gutty game.
Next up, we'll go to Richard Syons with Fox 10, and then Dwayne Rankin.
Yeah, DA, like you said, it was a gritty, gutty win. And how much does that mean to you to win this type of way, especially for you personally? I mean, you got banged up. Take us through that. You stayed in it, even played good defense on the Greek Freak towards the end there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we love to compete. And, we came off a bad loss versus the Spurs. And, we wanted to shake back and, get back to doing the things we do best. And, games like this, you're going to get banged up. And, me, I love it. To be honest, everything was really basketball plays. And, it's our culture. We really don't give up. There's a lot of relentlessness on this team. And that was just a sign of me, just doing what I do best. That's just part of our culture, just pushing through and, fighting over adversity. Coach always say anything you want is on the other side of the heart. So that's what we did together.
Next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, and then Brendan Clean.
Real quick, Deandre, your defense on Giannis and all game, but in that fourth quarter in particular, what were the things you were trying to take away and just that matchup and how you were able to, because Giannis had only 4 points in the fourth quarter?
Well, I know him and I are the same size damn near, but, I know I was in a little bit of foul trouble. Now, my biggest thing was just making sure he had tough shots and, making sure that he see a wall, making sure I wall him up without fouling him. And just making it clean, giving him a little bump here and there, making him work for his baskets. And, my guys were showing bodies, showing early walls in transition and showing bodies that, made him hesitant a little bit. And, that's what helped me a lot to really get up on him. And, it was just the game took place from there.
Thanks, Deandre.
All right, DeAndre, final three questions are going to start with Brendan Clean with Forbes and then Royce Young.
Hey, DeAndre, what's your response when your shoulder's hurting and coach keeps the game rolling? And then just how are you feeling now with that injury?
Well, throughout the game, I when I got hit, I didn't know where I was at first. It got to me a little bit, but, a game like this, it's just a playoff-like game. It's going to be hard. This is the NBA, and, you can't really stop or pause for any type of scratches. And I'm glad coach didn't stop the game or call a timeout. Made me play through it, and I figured my way out. And, my teammates was there for me, and everybody was talking to me. And, like I said, it's just our culture being relentless. And, that's what kicked in, and it was an important game tonight.
Final two questions are Royce Young with ESPN and Gina Mizell.
Hey, DeAndre, one of the things Monty said that CP has done for you guys this year is kind of raise your winning mentality. And I'm sure after what you did in the bubble, you guys thought you were going to probably be a good team this year. But what did bringing Chris in do to maybe kind of lift you guys to think that you could be a special group?
Man, paying attention to detail, approaching the game the right way, seeing the little things and, just thinking ahead, not thinking like the normal basketball player, thinking ahead, knowing what teams' tendencies are, and, how else can we get better? How else can we tweak an offense or tweak a defense, calling things out early, and just being aware of any little thing down the stretch. He really brings the best out of people, competitively, to be honest. He wants the best for you, and he's gonna talk to you and teach you. And it's just how much of a player you are to really be bought in or coachable to help the team.
Final question is Gina Mizell with Suns.com.
Hey, DA, to kind of go off of Royce's question, Chris did pass Magic tonight on the all-time assist list, and so he keeps knocking down all these milestones on your team, and I'm just wondering what that does for the whole locker room collectively, or like you as a younger player to just kind of see him having all these accomplishments and sort of being the like physical example of truly like a Hall of Fame career and longevity in the league and what it takes to accomplish that.
I mean, the man has proven that he's a point guard every time he plays. You know, breaking milestones and stuff like this, accolades that he's doing. It's an honor to be a part of it. You know, I dapped him up after he got the game ball when we all celebrated it. You know, like, appreciate you, man. I'm really honored to be a part of this. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's another thing to win games, but when you actually see it, you actually see, you know, the footsteps you want to head or the type of respect you want to get around the league, and you're around that person every day. It's a different feeling, man. You want to play hard because that person is doing the same thing you're doing every day to work to stay on top of this game and, you know, helping the team win, doing everything they can.
All right, Book, we're going to start with Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic and then Mark McClune.
Devin, two quick things. First, on that last play, to get the foul, Tucker came over, and I'm like, oh, he's kind of got his hand stuck in the cookie jar there at the end. Maybe take it through that play and then getting to the free throw line and hitting the free throw you had to hit to win the game.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the last shot. Obviously, we were trying to get a switch late. But, you know, the time was going down, and, you know, I just tried to get to a spot and get one up. And then there was a foul. Make the first one and, you know, don't give him a chance and miss the second.
Quick follow. You talked that Magic was on that hit list, and now he's been passed. You got the bucket off that led to the 10th assist that got him on that dunk. You got the bucket. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but what's that mean for you to not only get the bucket, but to be part of that historic moment that you guys been talking about for weeks now?
I honestly didn't know I got the bucket until we got in the locker room. So it wasn't something I was aware of on the court. But really, man, it's hard to put that in words, man. That's Magic Johnson, and that's Chris Paul. So, you know, for me being, you know, a fan of this game for so long and being inspired by these guys and watching continuously amount of film on both of them, yeah, there's just no words for it. You know, I'm inspired every day. I tell Chris that every day. You know, it's something I'm not going to take for granted. You know, I pick his brain. I listen to him closely. You know, I watch how he moves even when he's not, you know, talking or leading us. I just watch how he goes about his business. And, you know, there's so much respect for him, you know, not just for me, just league-wide and worldwide.
We have time for a few more. Next is Mark McClune with Channel 3, Channel 5, and then Royce Young.
Hey, Book, Monty called this game a growth moment. I'm wondering, down 7 with 4 to play and rallying for the win in overtime, how much of a confidence builder a win and a comeback like this is?
I think it's big for us. You know, I think it's the right way to start off this trip. I think it's great energy moving into, you know, our next games. We knew going into this trip it was not going to be an easy game. So anyone that we can grind out like that, you know, however we get it, you know, that's how we want to do it. So, you know, that's our plan moving forward. But, you know, winning, like Coach Mont said, winning makes the food taste better. Winning makes tomorrow better at practice. So I think we have good energy moving into our next one.
Final two questions are Royce Young with ESPN and Steve McGargy.
Yeah, Devin, you know, I'm sure after what you guys did in the bubble, you felt like you were going to be good this season and be able to carry that momentum over to having a good year. But after adding Chris, did you see like this kind of season coming? Did you see it like you've had it, you were good, and now you get Chris Paul and you could be great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up.
All right, Book, final question is going to be Steve McGargy with the Associated Press.
I'm just wondering, considering the time when he put up that shot, were you surprised when you heard the whistle, or were you pretty confident a foul was going to be called on that play?
I was pretty confident. Watching it on the screen, you know, I think they had a bad angle, but I don't think anybody was arguing if it was a foul or not. I
think they were seeing if the foul happened before or after the horn. There was a smack across the wrist that was very loud, and the ref made the right call.
Thanks for the time, Book.
Yeah, hold on, I'm not done. Yes, sir, here it is, y'all. It's going on eBay for $1 million. You hear me? It's going on eBay for $1 million.
All right, Chris, we're going to get started with Mark McClune with Channel 3, Channel 5, and then Cameron Cox.
Hey, Chris, congrats on the win. Congrats on passing Magic. Just as far as the win goes to start, what's rallying from 7 down with 4 minutes to play say about this team? What was kind of said in that timeout to spur the team to victory?
Man, it was everything. I think that's been the funnest thing about our season all year is that it's really a team. You know what I mean? The big shots, you know what I mean? I think a lot of times everybody expects something to come from me or Book, but Jay hit the big 3 in the corner. Kel hit the big 3. DA in his fight. Everybody plays a part, when we win games.
Next up is Cameron Cox with 12 News, and then Richard Science.
Hey, Chris, congrats on passing Magic. $1 million seems a little light for that ball, by the way. Just your thoughts on passing Magic and what it means. You've been doing this a long time just to pass him. What does that mean to you?
Man, it's crazy. Know Magic pretty well. Always been an unbelievable mentor. When you come into this game, you never know how long it's going to be, what it's going to look like. I think he put a lot of things into perspective. My pops, my dad, that's who I thank for all this. My dad was the first person that ever put a ball in my hand. The commitment he gave to me and my brother, just like my mom, I'm grateful, man. And when you have experiences like this, it's dope to be able to share with a great group of guys.
Next up is Richard Science with Fox 10, and then Kellen Olson.
Yeah, Chris, kind of to piggyback off that question, once again, congrats. Does it mean more, though, because it is Magic Johnson? I mean, this is not, I know there's a lot of great guys on that list, but this is Magic we're talking about. And then the way you break it.
Yeah, that's Magic. That's Magic. You know what I mean? It'll never be another Magic. Showtime. You know what I mean? As a kid, you're trying to do these no-look passes. Magic out there with the 2 big knee braces on. I don't know, man. It's surreal. You know what I mean? And I think it's dope that my kids get an opportunity to see what's going on. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this ball and send it to Magic, see if he'll sign it for me. Because I don't know, he the originator of all this, man. So I appreciate him too.
When you were emulating him, did you ever think you would be at this moment where you're passing him?
When you're in it, you just in it. You just put the work in and day out. Everybody on our team always talks about treadmill mentality. You know what I mean? You just do the work. You just do the work and other things will come. So that's what I try to do, keep my head down and do the work and, blessed.
We have time for 3 more. Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, and then Nicole Jarina.
Hey, Chris, when you look at this as a potential growth moment, DeAndre's defense on Giannis throughout, he had that shoulder injury. He played through it. What did you see from him throughout the course of the game?
These games right here, we in the West and the East. The only time we can see them again is the finals. But in games like this, it's bigger than the adjustments you make just in that game because Giannis is one of a kind. We probably won't guard anybody else like that for the rest of the season. But what it does is it shows trust in our team on both ends of the court. So this is a good building block for us, especially going on this road trip. Can't win them all without winning the first one.
Final 2 questions will be Nicole Jarina from Puerto Rico and Dwayne Rankin.
Hi, Chris. Congrats for your record and win the game.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Which moment from tonight you will always remember?
Which moment will I remember from tonight? Oh, that's easy. The locker room after the game. A lot of vets I know, friends that I know that have retired. The thing they always say that they miss most about the game is not necessarily playing. It's the interaction in the locker room, on the buses, the trips, playing cards. So coming in the locker room, seeing all my teammates, and then seeing mine. You know what I'm saying? What you laughing at?
Get to the cards.
Get to the cards. and seeing Coach Monty Williams. You know what I mean? I played for him 10 years ago. Who would have thought, you know, I'd get a chance to enjoy this moment with him.
All right, Chris, final question is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and continue the theme. I mean, I might as well last question for you about passing Magic, but I was just curious in terms of the pass that you made to Devin. I know you probably didn't know at the time that was the 10th assist, but how, when you're making that split-second decision, because that's like a quarterback throwing in coverage, because it's like two people back there with it, how quickly does your eyes turn to make that look and be confident you can split the defense to get it there?
It's communication. I screamed at DA when he got the rebound. Book screamed at me, you know. And then when you see him out there, I mean, it's always a good feeling because, you know, he ain't really got to do no work. he up ahead, and we try to create that. And I think it's dope, too. He's getting that Book got it. You know what I mean? So we'll keep this train moving.
Thank you for the time, Chris. Congrats.
Thank you.